Susan, you have been CEO of YouTube since February after leaving your post at Google as I think you were called the most powerful person in all of advertising. You're in a really much different role now, running a specific business. So tell me a little bit about the transition.
Yeah. Well, I had worked in advertising for almost 12 years. And so when the opportunity came up to work at YouTube and work with creators and think about the next generation of TV, I was really excited. And when I first got to YouTube, it reminded me a lot of Google in 2003 or 2004, when we were a much smaller company, when we had all the different cross-functional groups in the same area, and we had all these big plans, but we didn't have enough people to get them done. And so a lot of times in my head, I was thinking, like, what did I do in 2003 or 2004 when we didn't have all the people to help us, and we didn't have all these different people who were experts in the area? How did we get through it? And so I've been thinking a lot about that and thinking about what did I learn from that? Going through it once, how can I do it better the second time?
And what have you learned?
You mean being there? Well, I mean, I think the first and most important thing is scale. And a lot about scaling is getting the right people in place and figuring out who do you need in place to be able to get it done. Because you learn really quickly, I mean, I'm sure as everyone here in the audience knows that you're only as good as your team is, and your job is to really hire the experts and to set them up and give them the right direction and the right resources to make that happen. And so, and also to set the right priorities. And so that's also been a big challenge, which is how YouTube, I think, is similar to Google, which is, if there are 50 things you want to do and you only have enough resources for 10, you don't want to peanut butter your team. You want to make some hard choices and say, these are the things that we're going to do. These are the things we're going to do really, really well. And then do them well and hire the right people. Give them the resources. Give them the funding to make that happen.
Now, it's a little bit different, though, because you are part of Google, and it's not exactly a startup with no cash, right? You do have some advantages.
Yes, there's some advantages. But in many ways, it still has a lot of those components where you only have so many people. So is
it the spirit of that you're trying to capture in a way?
Well, I think part of it is also the industry, because if you look at TV now and you look at video, there's so many changes, and the fact that a lot of it's being developed over the top, meaning it's being delivered over IP. YouTube has unleashed all these new creators who, our kids can become creators in their bedroom. And we have a whole industry of people who are creating content in ways they've never done that before. So I think there's the change in the industry, but then just the fact that there's just so many things that are happening and YouTube is in so many different places. How do we prioritize and focus a company so we can get the things that are most important to us, get them done?